So let's talk about now your markers of achievements. When you're going through your licenses. Okay, so you enroll into the school. One of the first licenses that I know that people don't know you get is a student pilot license.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that allows you to be able to be taught and to be able to log those hours as your own.
Yeah.
And during that time, you are flying under the license of your instructor, right? So there's always achievements. So in PPL stage, what would you say was among your private pilot license? For those people who don't know, PPL just stands for private pilot license. During a PPL, what were some of the great achievements that you say you had?
I can say I'm proud of myself. After I got enrolled and everything, I dedicated myself, my time and everything, to my whatever I was doing. And I got my license in less than 10 months.
Wow.
I think probably 9 months, both ground and flying. That's when I went for my sitting, I did my exams. I got my solo with 14 hours.
14 hours?
Yeah. That's when I got my first solo. From there, I stopped flying and I went for my exams. Finished my exams less than a month, and I came back and already I was done.
No.
And I got my PPL.
Now, explain to somebody what a solo is. And explain to some, was that, I believe for most people, when they're doing their training, the solo is like the biggest highlight when it comes to their flying career. Okay? So explain to somebody the feeling that you had and what a solo is. And yes.
So basically a solo is a stage whereby you get trusted by your instructor, somebody who's training you. They feel like you're safe to go on your own right now, to go and build that aircraft. So it's a process. First of all, you need to go to LTA, local training area. When you feel like the instructor feels like you're qualified for that place, now they'll change the stage, bring you to the circuit pattern. Also, when they feel like you're okay now, that's when they take the process for solo. Solo comes whereby like now you feel like this guy is good on his own. He can go and come back.
So you can take off.
He trusts you and you can take off and land safely without any mistake. Okay, sometimes people do mistake, but it takes like courage for the instructor to trust to that level to give you a plane on your own to go and come back. So after flying with my instructor, some while he was like, okay, you know what? It was actually kind of funny. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't ready for it. So I thought I was still like that student or anything. So when we came back, he told me, you know what? I want to give you this aircraft. If you don't come back, that's up to you. If you come back, that's okay. And I wash my hands. I'm tired of training you now. Now you go. So I was like, okay. At first, my heart was beating, like that feeling of flying alone, a whole plane. So yeah, I took it. When I came back, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's all I ever wanted. Now we are done. You can steal this plane if you want to.
Okay, and now you've gotten your solo. You go do the exams that, like you've mentioned, that you do. Explain to somebody who's never sat for the flying exams, especially in the context of Kenya.
Yeah.
How hard or how easy are the exams? Okay, so let's break it down for ground school. Then let's talk about the flying exam, because we have both of those.
So for ground school exams, for you to go for your flying exams, you need to be released by your school. You have to go through ground exams, which are conducted in school by your chief ground instructor. From there, that determines, like, are you ready to go and do your exams there? Because you don't want to go there. You don't want a student to go and embarrass you there. So make sure you prepare them, adequately. Make sure they have all the tools that they need. Because you cannot, you fail a subject, there's nothing like grading or saying like, pass mark or anything. You have to pass all of them for you to be qualified to get that.
Yeah, and explain to somebody, what is the pass mark? When it comes
70.
You need to get a 70.
70.
70,
to get a 70.
70 and above, 70%.
70 and above. Yeah. If you get below, even if by 1 mark, you have to redo that exams. No matter what, you have to go through it again.
And now that you've been there, have you seen other students go through the same thing? And normally, if somebody doesn't come prepared, how long do you think how long do you think somebody would take before they are able to complete those exams?
Well, if you're prepared enough, to be honest, I've seen people like, especially in our school, most of the students have passed in their first trials, which means like they were really prepared. They were prepared by the school. And also, I've seen people having challenges passing those exams. So for you, like, to go and pass all those exams, it needs like just dedication and all that hard work, commitment. It doesn't have a specific time for you to pass those exams. It depends on how committed you are and how you put yourself through these exams. But if you go there, you fail, pass 5, fail 3, you can come back, prepare yourself, go back tomorrow. And then you can finish it. But if you don't, there's no way you're going to get, even though you finish your flying hours, without those exams, you cannot get any license.
Wow.
You cannot.
Yeah. And explain to somebody that, how long does it, because there's always this question where somebody, at times you meet with somebody and they're like, you're still doing exams. You're still doing exams, you know.
Yeah.
There's always that question from somebody who does not understand aviation. What can you tell somebody who does not understand aviation, why people are constantly doing exams?
Because it's still doing exams means like you didn't pass all of them. And I cannot say there's a limit whereby like how long you can go there for you to finish those exams. Take your time. If tomorrow you go get one, you have failed 8 or 7, go prepare for what you can. Go give your trial again. You can be lucky, get 2 or 3. And then you keep going, keep on going. You don't give up. Just because, I cannot say it's easy, to be honest. Okay, see, exams are not easy. Some other people think like these are just like a walkthrough, but it is not. For people who have gone, me, myself, there's a computer there. It's not like a written thing. You see your results. The moment you click end, it just come there. Your results come there. 2 choices. Either you cry or you celebrate there.
Either you cry or celebrate there.
Exactly.
No, nothing.
Yeah. You will not wait to go and wait for your result in the house or what. No. It is there. It shows you there. So the moment you're leaving, you already know what you got. Sometimes you can tell by the walk of person and how the walking style. You can tell this person have passed or not. So, yeah.
Wow. Now, explain to us what stage of your training are you currently at?
CPL, that is commercial pilot license. I have over 120 hours right now. So I can say I'm almost there, finishing getting my license. So yeah. Okay.
And now for you, because now you're right in the thick of it, you're right in the process of it. There's always, yet again, for some of your viewers, they always ask, how long does it take to complete your training? What could you give as an answer to that?
To be honest, this question is not even like only one student. Even parents sometimes they ask. What they expect is that they think this thing can take like approximately 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, depends. So, as someone like me who finished my PPL in less than 10 months, well, I can say it like 2.5 years is okay to finish everything. But it depends also on you sometimes. Yeah. There are some people you find like, sometimes financial status can matter, or sometimes when you're not dedicated. You can find somebody coming to fly once in a month. So how do you expect that person to finish in that period of time? But there's some people who finish in less than that, because you always see them there. They're always there. Exams, flying. But depends. There's some people who are book-wise and some who are like practically like very good. So you can find someone who is very good in flying, but when it comes to exam, they have a problem. There are some people who are very good at books, but when it comes to flying, so
it does depend.
Just depends. It depends on how you balance it.
Yeah. So what can you say? So it depends on how you balance it, but what is the overarching thing? So does dedication matter? Does does your perseverance when it comes to all the problems that come in aviation matter, or is it just up in the air whereby?
Well, the only advice I can give to my fellow aviators is that if you feel like you're weak in a certain class, like let's say it's flying, you're weak in flying, and I'm good in books, I'll just focus on flying. Perfect, not just to be perfect, but just at least to be whereby I can be. So, and also if I'm poor in books, at least, and I know I can fly well, I can take my time and go through. Also asked around, by the way, like, before I went for my exams, I used to have this thing, like, I asked my colleagues, like, those who have gone before me, ask them, like, so how is it? How's some people can just discourage you, and some can encourage you. There are some who will tell you, yo, bro, it's too hard. I think you will go and cry there. So imagine someone telling you that they have never been there. So you have to just see where you're weak in and look for help. If I'm weak in class, I'll just go back to my instructors and tell them, this and this, I have a problem here. How can you help me?
Okay.
Yeah. But now, if you cannot sort out for help, there's no way you're going to finish in that period of time. I've seen people who have gone through past 5 years in aviation.
Yeah. And is there a problem with people going for more than 5 years in
There's
aviation?
No problem. There's no problem. Sometimes it depends with you, like how do you want it to be? There are some who want to finish very fast. I don't know if that's an achievement for them. There are some who want to take their time, depending like on what you want. And also, failure is not like the last choice. You can fail and still come back. And giving up is the problem. But when I see someone who's not giving up, that's the winner. Yeah. Compared to someone who feel like, I failed, so I cannot manage this, so let me just quit.
Wow. What about you? Have you experienced what are some of the low moments that you've experienced currently as you're pursuing your journey in aviation? What are some of those low moments that you've personally experienced as you're going through the journey of training to become a pilot?
Well, to be honest, we all have our lowest moments. I went through some. That was, cannot say I'm that smart. I also had issues with my exams at some point. But I sat down, I was like, so what am I going to do about it? Actually, like, my ground school was CPL ground school. Yeah, I had so many challenges there. Because I was flying most of the time. Yeah, so I had to, like, take a break and go through, went back and checkbook and... Yeah, but there are always lowest moments there. Everyone has their own. So I've had my own, and let's say hopefully I'll overcome them, and some I have. Yeah, so.
Okay. What about some of the other highlights that you've possibly had now as you are doing your commercial license? We've talked about your private license. What about your commercial license as you're now pursuing your commercial license? What are some of those high moments or the highlights that you've had when it comes to commercial flying?
Actually, like, this the best part of my aviation journey. I thought it was going to be the hardest because, it is the most. So, but after I joined it, like, it's like a walkthrough of what you did before. I've had the best moment of my life in CPL. Most of them being like flying outside the counties. Yeah, I've had my best moment in Malindi, going to Malindi. Sometimes sitting my how do you call it, my fellow students. So I'm just enjoying it, to be honest. Yeah.
So commercial license is the place where you come to enjoy flying.
That's when, like, now you feel like you're good.
You're good.
Now you're a senior now. There's no pressure from that PPL whereby you shouted at. Now, no, you're okay.
Now you're
good,
okay.
Yeah.
Now you're just building your hours.
Any small mistake, you go just correct it. Nobody will shout at you or tell you this and this. You don't look like a student anymore. You're really a licensed person. You have your license with you. Yeah. Unlike PPL, whereby what you have is a SPL, student pilot. But now you already have a PPL license.
So what can you say about the overall journey so far? We've looked at your PPL, some of the things that you went through when you're doing your PPL. We've seen your CPL that you're currently still pursuing. You said this is a place where you're enjoying it the most. So what can you say, looking now possibly into the future? Okay, what can you say about your flying journey? What it has been for you, especially now that you're pursuing it here in Kenya? What has it shown you? What has it prepared you for? In terms of just general, even it can be just about life. What has this moment, this journey shown you or taught you so far?
Well, so far right now, what I can say about my journey is like, in life, people always judge you. There's some who believe like I'll never do it. People had like, especially not even, sometimes not people from far, your closest people. So when I talk about joining aviation, it was kind of like a debate. Others saying you can do it, others saying you cannot do it. So, but after I got my license, I proved them that anybody can. We all can. People had that mindset whereby aviation is too hard. It's not for, I don't know, like what they thought pilots look like.
Were you ever told you don't look like a pilot?
Especially in my country, people are so judgmental. Like they feel like, they're used to seeing like these white pilots and everything. They're not used to having their own nationals flying. So when you see someone that you know is the pilot, you're like,
this can't be.
This one can fly me. So those are the challenges we had. But at the end of the day, when I got my license, I didn't went out showing to everybody like, I'm already like a pilot and all that stuff. I just wanted them to see or to hear from somebody else, not even from me. And those are the things that made me work hard to make sure like I am where I am today. Those people actually, I don't call them haters, I call them motivators. They motivated me to become the person I am. My journey, I cannot say it was hard, and it was not smooth. And the reason being, I had supportive people beside me, both from family and from the institution, especially from the school. I was so supported. I was someone who just joined aviation with no knowledge about it, anything. So anytime I seek for help, I always have people around me helping me through this and this.
Okay.
Also with my instructors, I've never had any issue with any of my instructors. When I'm wrong, you correct me, I'm okay with it. And always in aviation, you cannot be soft to your student, right? Because this is a matter of life and death. Yeah, there's no way we are playing up there and then you'll be okay with it. Or I start using my phone while flying, or doing my own other stuff. I'm not looking out, and then you'll be okay with it. But when someone tells you something, this is not supposed to be done at this time, you listen. So when it's come to my journey, both ground and flying, it was okay. My ground instructors were okay. We used to have exams every Friday. And so if I fail, I go and pull up my socks. Tomorrow I come back. I check. I go through what went wrong. And then I see what I can do about it. Same to flying. And the reason why it took me 14 hours to get my solo is because, my instructor once told me, yes, you know how to fly, but you don't know to fly in the right way. And then I was wondering, like, how? He told me, go and think about it. He didn't even say anything. He left. So when I thought, like, what did he mean, actually? When I went and consulted somebody else, someone told me, what it means, like, you have to communicate when you're flying. Yes, you can land the plane, but do you communicate while flying? Do you do the checks? Because we have the frequent checks, whereby base leg checks, all those stuff. If you're not doing them, there's no way you're going to release you for solo. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. The next day when I came, I told him to book me the next day. He booked me, and then I came and flew with him. I did all those stuff. It was like, okay, that's all I ever wanted. There's nothing else. So my journey in aviation, I can say it's 50-50. I never I can't complain that I had tough times because I'll be lying. I had
You've enjoyed for the most part of it.
Part of it, the few challenges that you always have that there, of course. There's nothing that, the road is never too smooth. So there's always has to be bumps. And I had them, and I went through.
Wow. Okay. And now that you've gone through the journey, you're looking back at it, would you do it all over again?
I'll start over anytime. I don't even see anything else apart from flying. I'll never go back any day I feel like. And aviation doesn't end. No matter what license you have, it's still going to be there. You're always a student. That's why you see, I even see people with ATPL still doing exams. So you're always a student, by the way, no matter what. Until you retire, that's when you can become a retired pilot.
You're a retired pilot. You're no longer a student.
You're no longer a student. But
as
long as you're still flying, you're a student.
You're a student.
Yeah.
I think that's the right mindset to have whenever you're flying. And would you advise, what advice would you give somebody who was trying to pursue this path? Would you tell them it's worth it to pursue this with all the ups and downs that you've had? Would you tell anybody that this is worth it and they should pursue it?
Definitely. I would recommend that. I've seen people discouraging others, honestly. I've been approached by a lot of people asking me, like, is it okay to become a pilot? And I always tell them, yes, anytime. I cannot say it's the best, but to me it is. But, you cannot come to aviation with, how do you call it, that mindset of just coming, like, directly, like what I thought when I was joining. I thought, like, I'm coming directly to the air side to go and fly. Because I was expecting to be taken to the aircraft, not the class. But everything has its own challenges. And if you're actually passionate about flying, I would really recommend you to do it, because you will go through it. If you're dedicated, all it needs is just dedication, hard work, and commitment. All those. Discipline is a key, by the way, in aviation. You have to be disciplined. There are people who are smart, but they lack discipline. And that thing will affect you badly in aviation. Because if you can't go along with the instructor, who do you go and fly with?
Very true. Very true.
So come with those qualities. Make sure you're disciplined. You're hardworking. You're committed. Don't mix aviation with other stuff. If you really want to become a pilot. Because there's so many things we go through. By the way, like, people forget we have this thing called medical test. We go through every time. So you have to be careful. Even with what you're eating, you have to be careful with what you eat. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but aviation is like, I would recommend anybody to become a pilot if that's what you feel like. But come with those qualities.
Okay. Okay, and now I'd like for us to come and close it off. The channel is called Mugs on Both. And the reason for that is because whenever we are about to enter the runway, what do we always ensure? That the mugs are on both.
Both.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, as a parting shot, okay, because we're about to come, we land the aircraft, and we switch it off.
Yeah.
Okay? And among the last things is going to be mugs off. Okay?
Yeah.
But as your parting shot, as we land this first episode, what is your parting shot in terms of what you would say about another journey, and what are your prospects? What are you looking forward to when it comes to your pursuit of your license, and even as pursuit of your career? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I chose aviation as a career. It's not like fun thing. So I want to go as far as I can. There's no limit. And we always say sky is not the limit when it comes to flying.
Is there any specific aircraft that you'd want to fly? Is there any particular country you'd love to fly in?
Well, to be honest, I would like to serve my country. Approximately, we have less than 80 pilots, if I can count, in our country. Most of them are foreigners. And, we are the future of that country. We are the one to bring the change. So, but my dream aircraft is a Boeing.
Any type of Boeing?
777.
777.
777.
Wow.
That's it.
That's your dream.
That's my dream. If I lack 777, I just go for Airbus, A380. I I want to go higher.
You want to fly the biggest. You want to fly
the
biggest aircraft there is.
I want to work hard for it. You cannot just go there, fly there. You have to work for you to go there. So just because you're a pilot, you don't fly yourself to that place.
That place.
Yeah. So after my CPL, I'm just going to go and do my ratings. But at first, I want to be an instructor. Before that, all that stuff.
You want to be able to teach. You want to be able to.
I love that.
Be the person to tell students what they've done wrong.
Exactly.
Wow.
I want them to feel like what I felt.
Oh wow! I am waiting. I'll be waiting to see what kind of instructor that you'll actually make.
I'll be chosen one.
Yes.
Yeah,
but thank you so much, Nelson, for joining us today for the very first episode. And guys, also thank you for tuning in and just watching us for the first episode for Mugs on Both. And just like we said, we are shooting. We're coming to the end, and as we turn off this aircraft, we like to say, Mugs off. Thank you, guys.
All right.